chosen ones. The group came against you, and now they are turning on each other. You did not stumble here by accident. Heaven scheduled this moment because there is a shift happening in the atmosphere around your life. Stop scrolling and listen closely, because something hidden is about to be exposed. For this season, you have felt a very specific and heavy weight. It is not just the weight of life or work. It is the weight of a coordinated attack. You have walked into rooms and felt the temperature drop. You have seen the side glances. You have sensed the whispers that go quiet the moment you enter. You have been dealing with more than one person against you. It is a group. They found each other. They bonded over their discomfort with your light. They thought that if they joined forces, they could finally break your spirit. They thought there was strength in their numbers. But something greater is setting an ambush against what came against you. The same way old enemies once turned on one another in the middle of their own alliance. Confusion is entering the camp of those who plotted against you. The loyalty is breaking. They are beginning to suspect one another. You do not need to lift a finger. You do not need to defend yourself. Stand still and watch, because the group that gathered against you is about to be scattered by their own hands. You have felt a heaviness you could not explain with logic, a weight on your chest when you wake, a fog that tries to settle over your mind when you try to pray. That is not your imagination. You are not being paranoid. You are sensing something real. There has been a gathering of shadows against your light, and it is painful because it may involve people you once trusted. You need to understand what this group actually is. It is not real friendship. It is a bond built on shared discomfort with you. In any other season, these people would likely be strangers to one another. But they found common ground, and that common ground was their unease with what is growing in your life. When you walked into a room, your presence exposed something in them they did not want to face. Instead of looking inward, they decided to aim outward. At you there is often a ringleader, someone who recruits, who whispers concern that is not really concern, who plants doubt in the minds of people who barely know you. That is how you ended up facing hostility from people who had no real reason to dislike you. This attack made you want to disappear. You hesitated to share your dreams, your wins, your plans, because you no longer knew who was safe. That instinct to go quiet was not weakness. It was wisdom protecting what mattered most. You have prayed for these people. You have wished them well. You have even helped some of them, and still you found yourself sitting outside a table where your name was the main subject. You have fought the urge to become bitter. You have fought the urge to expose them, to argue your side loudly. But something in you held back, and that restraint is not weakness either. It is discipline. Here is what you need to know now. Their unity was never solid. It was built on sand, and there is already a crack running through it. One of them has been carrying information back and forth, smiling to your face while doing it. You felt a quiet alarm around this person more than once, and you overrode it because you wanted to believe the best. Now that veil is lifting, and you are seeing clearly. This is not meant to scare you. It is meant to confirm what you already sensed. You did not create this tension. It was created by the collision between where you are going and where they are stuck. If you were not becoming something significant, there would be no reason for a group to organize itself around stopping you. They looked at the numbers and thought they had the advantage. Many against one, but they did not count what stands with you. They are playing a shallow game while you have been quietly building something real. The exhaustion you feel is valid. It is tiring to be a target, but this pressure has a purpose. It is refining you. and it is teaching you to stop depending on approval you were never meant to need. You are under pressure not because you are weak, but because you carry something worth opposing. In these last days, the attacks have felt more erratic, more desperate, and that is because the thing holding them together is starting to dissolve. The same tension that once united them against you is now turning inward. They are starting to gossip about each other with the same mouths they used against you. Your silence did not defeat them. Your peace did. They wanted a reaction, and you gave them stillness instead. That stillness confused them more than any argument could have. You are not the problem. You were simply too much for what they were prepared to hold. They thought they were burying something. They were actually helping it grow roots. What you experienced was not random rejection. It was a structure, and structures built on envy do not hold. A bond built on tearing someone else down has no real foundation. It is a house on sand, and the wind is already blowing through it. People who were once inseparable are starting to keep their distance from one another. The one who led the group will eventually turn on the very people who followed them, because that kind of pattern consumes everything close to it, including its own. This is not punishment you have to deliver. It is simply what happens when something without roots is left to grow on its own. You do not have to lift a finger against anyone. You have asked why this had to happen the way it did. It felt like far too many against far too few. But remember, there is an old story about a king facing 3 armies at once, hopelessly outnumbered. He was told the battle was not his to fight. He was told to stand still and watch. And in that valley, the invading armies turned their swords on each other before a single blow ever reached the people they came for. That is the pattern you are living inside right now. Confusion has entered the other camp. Your silence did not feed their fire. It starved it. If you had fought back, you would have given them exactly what they wanted. Because you stepped back instead, there was nothing left to feed the story. Do not be fooled by how united they still look from the outside. It is a thin layer over something already cracked underneath. Inside there is unease. Inside there is competition for position. Inside there is a hunger for validation that is running out of places to go. You are allowed to let this be none of your business now, what they are doing, how they are unraveling. Who is turning on whom? That is not yours to track anymore. Your task now is simply your own healing, your own peace, your own forward motion. If someone brings you updates about their chaos, you are allowed to say you do not want to hear it. Protecting your peace like this is not coldness. It is wisdom. You gave easy access to people who did not know how to hold it with care. That access has a new price now, and it starts with your own attention. There is a story of a man rebuilding a wall who was repeatedly called down to argue with people who wanted to distract him. He refused every time, saying simply that he was doing important work and could not come down. That is your posture now. You are rebuilding something. You do not have to answer every call to come down and explain yourself. The fog around you is starting to lift. The tightness in your chest is starting to loosen. That sensation is freedom, and it is safe to breathe it in fully. You survived something difficult. Now you are allowed to move past survival and into something steadier. Keep your eyes forward. What is ahead is meant to be larger than what is behind. You held your ground. You kept your peace while things were said about you. Now watch the direction of the wind change. No structure built to stop you was ever going to succeed against something moving with real purpose. It was formed. Yes, you felt the heat of it, but its outcome was already decided before it began. You do not need to fight this battle. You only need to stand and keep walking forward. There is a season of restoration opening up ahead of you now. Time and energy that felt wasted are being returned to you in ways that will surprise you. The resistance that slowed you down is loosening its grip, and you will move lighter because of it. Let this settle over you like a release. Whatever weight you carried from being watched, judged, or misunderstood by that group, you are allowed to set it down now. Whatever words were spoken about you that were not true, let them lose their power over your day. Do not go looking for the ending of their story. Do not check on them out of curiosity. There is an old warning about looking back at something you have already walked away from, and it is worth remembering here. Looking back can pull you into the very stagnation you just left behind. Your direction now is forward. Your focus now is your own growth, your own healing, your own next season. What used to feel heavy is being exchanged for something lighter, and you may already feel it in your shoulders, in your breathing, in the way you carry yourself. You realize now that what once felt overwhelming was never as large as it seemed. It only felt big because you were standing too close to it. From a little distance, you can already see it was smaller than the fear made it feel. You are allowed to rise out of this season, standing taller than you went into it. The intimidation is gone. The cycle around this particular chapter is closing. What comes next is not more of the same. It is something new. If this message met you exactly where you are tonight, I would love to hear it. Write a word or two below about what stood out to you, or simply what you are choosing to release tonight. It helps this message find someone else who needs it too. And if this kind of word speaks to your season, stay close. Subscribe, so the next one finds you when you need it, and turn on notifications so it does not pass you by. You are not the one who loses in this story. You are the one who walks forward, steadier, lighter, and further along than the version of you who first walked into that room, full of cold shoulders and quiet whispers. Go in peace. Go forward. This chapter is closing, and the next one is already beginning. Amen.